Oh, look at that. Right.
This is quite possibly the classiest intro we've ever had.
It certainly is. This is actually beautiful. This is very nice. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beer Friends Unfiltered.
All right.
Okay, well, Graham picked us up something very nice.
Yeah.
What is this? Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Stout from it's a new high gravity series from New Holland Brewing.
Oh, nice.
New Holland, we decided was in Denver, was it?
No,
Michigan.
Michigan. I'm sorry,
Yes,
Denver.
Michigan.
Denver, Michigan is beautiful. Where'd you buy this from? Did you
You
get
got
a
it
shout out?
from San Gambrinus.
San
Sure, yeah.
Gambrinus?
San Gambrinus, Brooklyn, New York.
I always wonder how to say it, but it's a beer bar and store on my block in Brooklyn that Phil has some connection to.
May have
A
known.
friend of mine from college owns it, or co-owns it, so it seems to be a very well-run,
Wonderful place.
fantastic selection, it looks like.
10 to 15 taps of good craft beer and a whole wall of just bottles like this that are a little bit, in the bigger variety,
Yep.
harder to get, but also a lot of more familiar 6-packs
Great.
and 4-packs that are also...
This is nice. This is a vintage 2014.
Oh,
So going all the way back. Going all the way back. So
Maybe
there you go, ladies and
3
gentlemen.
months back, yeah.
The Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Stout, 11% ABV. So,
It's funny. So smelling it, just smelling it a little bit. First of all, we don't usually drink beers this fancy. So this is good for us. Which just smells like a cream stout, but like a spicy cream stout, which I'm sure is the bourbon barrel is. I'm going to get into it.
Yep.
Boy, that is way smoother than I thought it was going to be.
It's also
That
right
is-
now a little bit on the cold side.
That's totally fine. I'll warm it up like this.
Yeah.
That
We
is
learned the physics.
super smooth. We did learn the physics
We
about the
learned
glass.
physics. Thin glass keeps
Thin
things
glass
colder.
keeps it colder, yeah. But anyway, that's crazy smooth.
I thought there'd be a lot more of the bourbon, the alcohol right away.
So did I.
Yeah.
But I don't believe I've had
I haven't had a Dragon's Milk.
I assume Dragon's Milk is a milk stout. Am I assuming incorrectly?
I would assume. Let's assume away altogether that it's a milk stout.
It has a QR code, but sadly my phone's over there, so I can't scan the QR code to get
I
to
don't know
it.
if I have a
Filming.
QR code.
This is really good.
delicious.
I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
For 11%, it definitely does not go down like 11%.
No.
No.
And it barely goes down like a bourbon age stout. Like the bourbon is a small tingle at the back, but like it's only adding this bourbon sweetness to this.
It would be very.
There's a sweetness.
It would be very not very difficult, but I'd have to think about it for a second to pick this out as a bourbon, as a barrel aged.
I might skip it. I might just think it's an overly sweet milk stout. Honestly.
Yeah.
There you go. You got it. Come up with this.
7 medals and 2 awards in Austin's American Craft Distillers Award. Oh, at the Distillers Awards.
This
is off the QR code. It's all their medals and stuff. A lot of medals. A lot of quotes. And that's the end of it.
Well,
great.
We've never been known for our research.
Nope.
So we're not going to start now. Graham, you brought this one to us. I mean, what do you think? Give it to me. Give me a rating. We'll do this one. I know it's a big beer. I know it's a big bottle, and
So
I
you
want
a 6-pack.
Give me your 6-pack rating of this.
I'm gonna have to say it's really smooth. As it does warm up a little bit, I definitely get a little bit of the alcohol burn, but it's not.
I'm getting more of it already.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming though, and like you said before, the bourbon barrel aging gives it just a slight sweetness, so it makes this sweet kind of milk stout taste, which I really like. So I would probably only have one of these. I wouldn't put a lot back, but if I had to rate it just singularly on this, I would give it a 4.5 out of 6. So
Graham's falling asleep after about 2/3 of the bottle. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 6. That's what I'm gonna go with because, God, it's really good. But coming up with, I'm going to fall in the same trap, and this is a beer. This is in Beer Friends canon. All through the years, I'm gonna fall in the same trap you guys fall into when we talk about IPAs. Not enough bourbon for me, and it's unbelievably smooth. It's absolutely fucking delicious.
Just not enough.
And if somebody wanted to try a bourbon barrel beer, this might be the one I choose because you're like, see, here's the hints of this, the stout and the what I assume is the most. The beer covers up the abrasive flavors of the bourbon, which is what I like when I drink a bourbon barrel beer.
Right.
I enjoy an imperial stout bourbon aged because I get a nice abrasive edge to it. It's like drinking a spirit. This is
not there.
just sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even the more it warms up, it's not.
It's getting
abrasive.
sweeter, actually.
It's still
I think
it's
so.
not
It's
abrasive.
sweeter.
Absolutely incredible. So it gets a 5 out of me because I as much as a beer that tastes this good should probably be a 6. It loses the merits because I'm an idiot. Phil,
I'm gonna go with Graham. I'll go with a 4.
I give it a 4.5.
Oh, I would give it a 4.
I fall asleep during half that.
Because I don't leave half beers on the table.
that's a lie. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'll just drink the rest.
But I think actually, kind of to your point. I mean, I'm not one that likes an overly bourbony beer. I actually think that detracts it for me in a big thing. Where if it's like you're like, oh crap, this is like definitely bourbon. But at the same point, I agree with you also that this is. As this warms up, I can't taste the bourbon at all.
It's unbelievable.
It's almost like whatever they do. I mean, milk stouts are sweeter to begin with, usually, and whatever they age it in is only making it sweeter as it went. And the bourbon isn't coming through very well. Not to say it's not delicious. It's very good. It's very sweet. It's not overly sweet. It's just for a bourbon barrel aged thing that we've become accustomed to. It's very good. It's very smooth. It's very tasty. But you wouldn't know that it's a bourbon barrel aged unless it was on the label.
Yeah.
As we leave you here today, I wish, I'll leave this one last thought. I wish, and maybe I can look up the QR code, and I apologize to, I know, but I apologize to New Holland if it's on there. I wish I knew what this was aged in. And we've had this discussion before on the podcast, Beer Friends Happy Hour, which you can find at beerfriendsradio.com, which is right down here. We've had that discussion before about how I wish I knew more of the barrels that things were aged in, because that means a little bit to me. If I knew the whiskey, maybe I
like the type of bourbon or whiskey.
Yeah, or just or just the brand.
Yeah.
I understand that sometimes when they get these, you're just getting a boatload of barrels from different distilleries, so it may not be possible. It's something I'd like to see, though. That's something I want. That I'd love to see. I'd love to see a Bullet 10 aged barrel aged beer.
We see it a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my favorite beer of all time, the John Juniper from Rogue. They say that it's their Juniper Ale aged in their gin barrels from the Rogue farms, but they're only able to do that and call it out because it's an internal thing that they do. They pull this gin barrel from Rogue Distillery. I agree with you. I think that would
love it.
I think it's probably the last unexplored piece of craft brewing. I think you actually may have stumbled upon the next big thing in craft brewing is being barrel specific.
Picking the bourbon or the whiskey or the scotch.
And only doing that one.
Because
I think calling it out.
Because I think how this goes, and any brewer can comment on the YouTube page. Also, subscribe right here. You can subscribe right here. I think.
Subscribe on God's face.
You can subscribe to the channel right here. Anybody can tell me this. I just assume for the amount of beer to go into bottling, just knowing how bourbon is made and understanding that they would need more bourbon barrels to do beer. So maybe they can't get all of the same bourbon barrels. So it's fun. It takes a little more of a single barrel bourbon concept to it for each beer, because some beers maybe.
Totally.
Yeah. I don't know if they do it even like bourbon or large batch bourbons where they put them all in barrels and then mix them all back again to make them taste the same, or if it's more. I don't know.
Good point.
So there could be a few different ones, but whatever it is, I love that. You're right. I think an unexplored concept, which I really like. But thank you all for watching. As we said before, you can find us on the Beer Friends Radio. I'm sorry. You can find us on beerfriendsradio.com or at thebierfriends.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at the Beer Friends. You can find me. I'm at BeerFriendPaul, at BeerFriendPhil. Find us BF Graham on Untappd.
I'm a thing somewhere.
BF Graham on Untappd.
On the internet.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks to Sam Gambrinus for letting me pick this up.
For stocking
letting me.
Stocking it.
I might even have there tonight.
And thank you to New Holland.
Thank you to Holland. Yeah, this is great.
Cheers.
Bottoms up. I mean, that's stupid smooth.